Hey YouTubers, welcome to my channel, The Bearded Meat Artist. Today we're going to do some steak using a sous vide and a Weber Vortex to get the perfect internal temperature and a great sear on the outside. For those of you who don't know what a sous vide is, basically it's an immersion cooker that circulates water at an exact temperature so that whatever you're cooking can't possibly overcook. So in the case of a steak, I'm going to be cooking it today at 130 degrees. Just because that's how I like mine done. Now, if you want a more well-done steak, you just increase that temperature. The longer that you cook the steak, the more tender that it gets. So you won't increase the internal temperature, but you can make a cheaper cut of steak taste more like something more expensive like a fillet, simply by cooking it longer at that lower temperature. Now, I like to use vacuum seal bags whenever I'm using my sous vide. One, I know that they're sous vide safe, so I don't have to worry about the plastics getting into the water. But also, I know that with all the air removed, I don't have to worry about the bags floating to the surface, and I don't have to weigh the food down to get it underwater. Now, I personally haven't noticed any difference whether or not I put aromatics like rosemary and thyme, other things like that in the bag with the steak. So in this case, I'm choosing just to have the vacuum sealed steak only. There's nothing else in the bag. No seasonings, no butter, no anything, just the steak. After a little over an hour, the steaks will be fully cooked to temperature. But again, we're going for more tenderness. So these have been cooking for about 5 hours. I then pull them out of the bags and pat them completely dry. Want to remove as much moisture as we can to get a good sear later on the grill. I then apply the rub of my choice, so in this case, a Montreal steak rub, and then some coarse sea salt. After which, I move the steaks to the refrigerator while I'm getting the grill ready. I've got my charcoal chimney started, and as a side note, for about $20 from Amazon, you can get a pretty cool bracket that goes on the side of your Weber that also acts as a really good windshield, which is especially helpful today. Most of the time when I'm grilling, I'm going to be using standard briquettes. In this case, I'm using some lump charcoal, because it's capable of getting a lot hotter than a standard briquette, and we want to get this fire as hot as we possibly can. Alright, first set of steaks are on, and this is literally going to take just a couple of minutes on each side at most. The device I have the charcoal in right now is known as a Vortex. So it actually creates a tunnel of air that comes up through the bottom of the kettle up through the top and creates an intense heat. You can actually burn your grates up if you're not careful, which is why I'm using some cast iron ones to do searing. And then here's the finished product after it's rested about 10 minutes. And I cut one open. You can see that it's a nice juicy pink in the center, and it's got a really nice crust on the outside. And again, if that's too pink for your liking, you can definitely raise the heat on the sous vide and cook it at a higher temperature. Thanks for watching, and remember to like, share, and subscribe.